Good morning, my dear students. My name is Palaj Vishwas, Assistant Professor, JS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering. And basically today discuss the combined negative positive pressure on the pneumatic conveyor systems. And a few outlines we can consider according to this the combined negative pressure positive pressure systems, the medium and high pressure systems, air activated gravity conveyors, air slides, and also the tube conveyors will be discussed during the these classes, and also the parts for the pipeline conveyors, the suction nozzles, feeding or intake units, cha- change over or the diverts valves, and also the hydraulic conveyors is discussed during to these classes. And the first is concentrate according to this, the combined negative positive pressure system. In these systems, the principles of both positive pressure systems and suction systems are employed. This type of pneumatic conveyors is particularly employed when the materials from more than one points have to be picked up and simultaneously delivered to multiple delivery points. For these systems, generally one positives the delivered blower is used. The two separate blowers may also be used for the suction lines, and the pressure lines of the combination systems also will be here. And the suction sides of the blower conveys the materials from the storage point to the intermediate receiving stations. Also will be transfer these materials from the during this system. And another thing is here, this suction air passes through these intermediate receiving stations, and then through a cyclone separator and a further dust cleaner if required, and enters the blower also will be here. Now basically the suction is done during this the receiving stations, and basically this suction valve will be here, and also used for this the cyclone separators and the dust cleaners, and this will be concentrated according to this the blower, and this will be the blow on the systems, and again this is the transfer the materials during to this after receiving this receiving station. And another thing, the compressed air is the then thrown into the pressure delivery pipelines, and basically the this pneumatic system is concentrated. There are so many pipelines is here, and also this will be concentrated according to this the pressure delivery lines pipelines is required, and during to this the this pressure is given, and into which the materials from the intermediate storage is discharged through necessary air lock feeders will be here, and during to this the airlock feeders, and the airlock feeder is gone through, and this will be compressed air, and also this is the materials, and discharged through this the intermediate points. From there the material is conveyed to the multiple storage silos as per the positive pressure system already, and this will be basically the discussed during to this the some materials convey multiple storage concentrate according to this the positive pressure systems, and this will be discussed already during to this the previous classes. And another things you can see that this is the figure of this the combine of this the positive and negative pressure system is given here, and you can see that this figure, and this is the bin vent filters will be here, and also the wagon is concentrated, and also this is seen to this the air inlet nozzles, and the air inlet nozzles, and this air inlet nozzles is the air is in during to this the this nozzles, and also the cyclone separator filter receivers, and these things also will be mounted on this the here to the right side of this figure. This is the cyclone separator and the filter receivers, and the intermediate storage feeders also will be here during to this is the intermediate storage feeders also will be here. Basically the sometimes we have to say that during to this the intermediate feeding procedures also will be required during the transfer of materials through this the pipeline systems. So then the storage feeders and also the rotary air locked feeders also will be mounted during to this the rotary or air locks, and during to this the rotary air locks feeders that this will be rotate during to this the systems will be run, and then you have to concentrate according to this the suction side motors also will be available, and during to this the suction stroke motors, and the first your systems it will run, then you have to here during to this the suctions will be done, and this suction and also this motor will be running, and also the suction procedures will be run, and also this will be starting from this the inlet air during through this nozzle inside of this the pipelines, and also this will be go through this the different movement will be found, and also the filtrations will be here, and during to this the filter is required, that during this air will be required to this the filter, and also the some foreign material foreign organs that like that during to air is mixed with the different type of foreign elements. These foreign elements will be filtered during to this the filtration procedures, and that like the filter receivers, and again the this solid the materials will be transferred during to this the pipeline systems. No will be the foreign elements will be contact with the materials you have to transfer. Then this will be essential for this the this type of pipeline transformation, that like the pneumatic conveyor systems, and also you can see here that this is the cyclone separators also here. During to this will be concentrate for this the separated, and another things the diverging valve also will be here during to this the right side of this is the diverging valve, and during to this diverging valve, and also that this is the different chamber also will be here. They are like the dust collectors, that like the dust collector. You can see that this is the dust collectors, and also the venter lines also will be here. The during to this the vent will be required. This is the different type of flue gas is come out from this type of vent, and the dust collector, and on dust is the collected on during to this the dust collector, and this things is the concentrate according to this the receiving hopper, and this receiving hopper your materials is received from this this type of hopper, and also the during to these pipelines the conveying lines also here. This is the all things is the clear, all things is the fully concerned during to this the diverging valve, and during to this the diverging valve you have to see the after this materials is the convey through this the conveying lines, and during to this the conveying lines, and the storage hoppers will be here. Then also the one pipelines is the connected up to this the storage hopper, and the storage hopper you have to storing on the storage elements, and storage hoppers is fill up through this the materials is come out from this the pipelines, and another the bin vents filtrations also will be mounted on this end of this the pipelines, and after that this materials will be the storage, and also that like the during to this the conveying lines, this is the convey, and also the storage on this the storage hopper, and this is the is completed the procedures. And another thing is here, and the medium and high pressure system is available. These systems are basically similar to the positive pressure systems. The system in its the operational principles, the difference is the range of air pressure used. Because of use of increased air pressure, the medium and high pressure system principally differ from a low pressure system in two aspects. Firstly, the types of air supply equipments will vary accordingly to the pressure selected. Secondly, the feeding device used will be different to make the systems leak proof also here. And a single storage rotary compressor is used for a medium pressure pneumatic conveying systems, while a double storage rotary compressor is normally used for the high pressure system is here. And another thing is that the medium pressure systems generally operate continuously, while a high pressure systems may be used for continuous intermittents of basic operations. In medium pressure system, generally screw feeder also the term screw pump is used for feeding materials from the feeding hoppers, and also the screw feeders are suitable for safe. For the high pressure systems, the feeding of materials is done through blow tanks, also called the chamber feeders also is here, and during to this the type line chargers also will be mounted on this, and the low pressure systems operated at dilute phase, that like the mass flow rate ratio being less than 15 is concentrated according to this the low pressure system. And another is concentrated according to this the selection of pneumatic handling system, that like the how you have to selecting the pneumatic handling system. This will the depends on the properties of materials like the bulk density, the particle size, and the depending on the bulk density, particle size, material characteristics like the moisture content, abrasiveness, and during to this the different type of materials you have to transfer through the different way, and depends on the different type of materials, and like the bulk, like the particle size, and you have to depend to this selection for this the different type of pneumatic system, like the positive pneumatic system, negative pneumatic system, maybe the combined of this the positive negative pressure systems can be used. And for this the bulk bulk density, particles like the materials characteristics like the moisture content, abrasiveness, corrosiveness, and also the fragility etc., and other factors like the distance of convenience, environmental considerations etc. The is 8647 to the 1977 has suggested a list of choice of different type of pneumatic conveying system based on, and 79 specific materials, and basically the this will be on tables will be given during to this the materials based on the table is given here, and you can see that this is the materials is come up from this the one is the this materials the alum is concentrated according to the type of system, what is the low pressure, and this is the negative positive, and the negative positive systems, and medium pressure, and also the high pressure, and this will be the different type of equipment, so that like the conveyor systems will be available during to this the process, and one is the low pressure is concentrated according to this the negative positive, and the negative pressure negative positive concentrated according to here to this the low pressure. And another things is here during to this the medium pressure is here the when the alarm is used, that like the negative pressure positive pressure not will be used during to this the alarm, and then you can be used to this the negative positive pressure system, maybe medium pressures, and maybe high pressures you can use during to this the alarm. And aluminum oxides is transferred, aluminum oxide is transferred through the negative that like the negative pressure system, low pressure system you can be used to this the negative pressures, and maybe positive negative combined procedures will be used, and also you can be used to this the medium or the high pressure system is used. Similarly the bauxite, the bentonites also will be used, bentonite is used, this is the only to this the positive pressure systems, and also the positive negative pressure system can be used to this the bentonites, and also the bauxite is used, and also the medium pressure not will use, and high pressure is this will be used during to this the bauxite. And similarly the cement and the Portlands also will be used, is the negative positive, and also the negative positive systems can be used during to this cemented, and also the Portlands is used. And another things is here the dolomites also is used to this the all procedure during to this the low pressure systems also is used during to this the dolomites. And similarly the floor wheels also will be used during to this the medium and high pressure procedures, and maybe slightly used according to this the negative positive pressure systems. And another things is here the air activated gravity conveyor air slide also is here, the derived powdered materials when adds the raise the fluidity and can move along a plane having a slope of only 4% to 5%. This principle is adopted in an air slides for the short distance movement of powdery materials at a fairly controlled rates, and air slides consist of an inclined covered metallic through with the longitudinal porous portions in between. Over the partitions, if the materials moves, low pressures air is allowed to enter from the bottom of the porous portions. The air fluidities, the powders, and also the pulverized materials is used during to the air activities. Gravity convert is here. And another things is concentrate according to the tube conveyor. The tube conveyor is the very important is used to this transfer of materials from this one station to this another station. This is the tube conveyor is much more essential. When the small pieces goods of the standardized containers, the called the carriers, are transported pneumatically over the short distance through pipe, it is called the tube conveyors. And basically the during to this the short distance, you cannot be used during to this another the positive and negative system is concentrated according to this is the basically transfer the short distance through pipe is called the tube conveyor is used. This type of transportations of pipe pieces goods are used in the telegraph office, banks, and stores and the newspaper office, and also in industries. The pipe of this installations may be round up to the 100 millimeters diameter or elliptical. The carriers are moved at the speed range of 6 to 12 millimeter per second. Also is concentrated according to the tube conveyor procedures. And another the parts of pipeline conveyor is here. The different parts accessories making up different types of pipeline conveyors are the suction nozzles. They are like the feeding or intake, feeding or intake into the intake units for the introduction of materials into pipeline. That is like the change over diverting valve, and also the separators, receivers, and the dust collectors, and also the filters. This will be concentrated according to the parts of the pipeline conveyor. And some other component are the delivery systems, pipes, and automatic control system is concentrated according to the different parts of the pipeline conveyor. The operations and construction details of these some of these are parts are described below during to here. And basically the different accessories making up the different type of the pipelines you can hear. And this is the suction nozzle, and what is these are used for sucking materials into the pipe of suctions. And the conveyors, it is basically the pieces of pipes and also the connectors with the main conveying pipe through flexible hose. And also this is the part length of this pipe is jacketed by another concentric tabular pieces also will be here during to this the suction of nozzles. And during to this the suction types, and you have to suction is creating, and again their materials will be movement during to this. And this jacket is closed at the bottom with inner pipe, while it is open at the top. The number of holes are created at the bottom sides of this inner pipe. When this assembly is dropped into the materials, part of the nozzle and gets the fluid into the heap of materials. When the suction blower is switched on, air enters between the jacket and the inner pipe through opening at the top, and basically the passes through the holes at the bottom parts of this the inner pipes through the materials and picks up the particles of the nozzle into the conveying pipes. And you can see the figure of this and another things is here. The feeding or intake units is here. The feeding or intake units you can concentrate according to the yellow gates of different design are used to the low pressure pipeline systems. For pressure up to the 1.4 atmosphere, the goes for this the introduction of materials from storage hopper silo into the conveying pipes is concentrated. The rotary gates file rotary gate is on such air locking gates also will be here. The material is feed from this the top funnel. The party shows rotary drum items that to takes the material and discharge at the bottom by gravity, and the drum is closely fitted with the causing which prevents air to passes from the outside to the screw feeder are used for feeding materials into the pipelines, the working under medium pressure systems up to the about 3 to 3.0 atoms. The gauge pressures also will be concentrated here. And another things, the screw feeders are short length. The screw conveyors with the screw having the different piece decreasing in the directions of load discharge. This pressures makes the load to peak at the discharge end and prevent the high pressure air to escape through the feeding mouth of the feeder. And another things is here, the few concentrate is given during to the charging of during to the charging powder materials into the pressure line is shown. The schematic diagram is the pneumatic chamber feeder. Such a feeder consists of the cylindrical pieces with the conical bottoms. The materials is feed into the upper parts of the chamber through a ports, and after filling the pieces, it is shut off. Then the composed air is introduced into the lower part of the materials, and also the top of this vessel forces the loosen the materials to move through the feed pipe into the main lines of this pressure conveyor is here. And change over what the diverts valves is here. And the change the over or diverted valve. These valves are allow the pneumatically convert these materials. Pneumatically convert this materials for this. These valves consist of the CI the body having this one planes inlet and more than one planes outlet is required. And another things is concentrate according to this junction of this the multiple outlets, and basically this is the junction of this the multiple outlets will be concentrated, and a disc valve or prop is the provided which can be adjusted from outside and which is closed at wall, but one of the outlets at predetermined settings is essential. And during to this the changeover or diverting valve is here. And another thing is concentrate according to this the separator or receiver. Basically the separator or receiver is required during to this the separate of this the materials. And another things, the receiver is concentrate according to this the receive of this the materials during to this the receiving hopper. And these are the equipments used for the separation of solid materials from the air which converts it. These type of separators used in the pneumatic conveyance can be broadly classified based on principle of operations into gravity and inertial type, and this the cyclone types also will be here. And another things is here, the in the gravity and inertial types, the solid laden air is admitted into a large volume chamber is here, and are called the gravity chambers, in which the high velocity air loses its velocity within a range of 0.2 to 0.8 meter per second, and the solid falls due to the gravity is concentrated. And another things is here, during to this the cyclone separator is basically the conical bottom container or hopper provided with a suitable discharge valve at the bottom is required during to this the cyclone separators. And basically this will be used to this the separate during to your the materials, like the dust type of materials will be required for this the separate during to this the cyclone separators. Materials ladle air enter tangentially at the upper part of this the separator is concentrated according to this cyclone separators moves along the outer wall of the equipments and loses its velocity and pressures when the material separates from the air stream and falls at the bottom. And another things is here, the air escapes to the top from the cyclone separator through a pipe placed centrally and projecting down up to the certain length of the hoppers. And another things is here, during to this the dust collectors, and basically the dust collector filter is required the air that escape from a separators of storage silo after the depositing the bulk of conveyed materials may still contain some amount of fine dust also will be here during to this the air escapes from the separators, and again the contents of amounts of the finest dust is the come out. And another thing is that prevent atmospheric pollutions, and that's like the all times we have to concentrate according to this prevent for this atmospheric pollution. That's like the air is always the different contaminants will be available in our air, and similarly these foreign elements will be reacted to this the materials. For this you have to require for this the prevent of atmospheric pollutions and ingress of such fine through the blowers of the suction systems of and dust collectors are provided at the outputs end of separated storage will be here, and just like the silo, and the various types of dust collector are used to separate the dust, and some of these are the basically bags, filters, and these bags filter is used during to the dust collector, and also this is the different from this the foreign materials, the foreign elements from the this will be connected to your the elements, and this is the back filter is here, and over the weight filters also will be essential during to this the weight filters. This weight filters is used to this during to this our system, and also the electrostatics precipitation also will be required during to this the separate of this the dust, and also this is the dust collector also is used according to this the electrostatics precipitators. Also the hydraulic conveyor systems, the moving bulk materials along the pipes of this channel, pipe of channel, and this is the channel through in a stream of water is called the hydraulic conveyor also is here. During to this the moving bulk materials, and this is the along pipe of or channels, and this is the concentrate according to through in a stream of water is called the hydraulic conveying systems, and this hydraulic conveying system generally consists of a mixer where the materials and the water is mixed. The materials and the water is mixed to the to form the requested pulp depending on the starting size of the bulk materials. The materials may have to be crushed. That's like the 7 ground in the crushing plant, and the screening facility also will be required. During to this the hydraulic conveyors are used in the many industries, just like the mining operations, and constructions works also is here. Some of the populations is the concentrates, just like the some of the popular uses are to dispose the ash and the slush from the boiler rooms, the deliver materials from the mine, and sand and waters to fill up used mines, and another things to remove the slag from this concentrations the plants to quench granulates, and convey furnace slags to disposal points to move earth and the sand in large construction projects, and for land filling etc. is concentrated according to this. And the few advantages is here. The advantages of using hydraulic conveyors are the high capacity of materials can be conveyed over a considerable length, tens of kilometers, and another things the comparatively small, comparatively the simple and low running cost equipments are used, and the conveying can be combined with other processes like the cooling, quenching, and granulating, and of molding slags also will be here, and also the washing is concentrated according to very easily, and the flexibility in sections and the subsequent modifications to routes is concentrated according to this the advantages of pneumatic conveyor systems. The conveying process is generally safe and is easily controllable is here. During to this the conveying process, like there is the no materials will be destroyed, and also the safely transfer your materials from this the one station to this another station. Like this is the generally safe and easily controllable. And another things is concentrated according to the low maintenance cost, like there is the no high the maintenance cost is essential, and few disadvantages also is here. However, there is a few limitations and disadvantages associated with the hydraulic conveyor systems. Some of the measures are the materials that can be handled are quite limited. Only the smaller size, the bulk materials which do not react or get dissolved in waters can be conveyed in a hydraulic conveyor systems. And another things, the cannot be used in good conditions where water may freeze, increase the humidity when the operating in closed environment, disposal or recirculations of water is often difficult and or costly, and the crushing and mixing are added power intensive operations. The degradations of some materials due to attritions also will be here. The choking of pipelines, particularly at vent fittings, also will be concentrated here. And the dear students, the next class is discussed to this the hoisting equipments. Okay, thank you students.